Hey everyone, welcome to Our Small Footprint. I thought we'd have a bit of a chat today, but I wanted to show you what I've got going on first, and then I'll walk out to the garden and away from the children and have a bit of a chat. But I wanted to show you what we've had going with all those apples and everything. So let me turn you around, and I might end up voiceovering this rather than whatever audio I get, depending on what happens in the background. So I've bagged up all the sausages into servings. So there's servings of 4 for Darryl and I, and then servings of 7 for the kids. We worked out 2 for Surreal and 1 each for the other kids, and then they can share whatever leftovers. So this is the bags of sausages done to go in the freezer. Tonight I'm doing a simple dinner. So I've got some sausages in the smoker at the moment, and I've cooked some potato to make some langos bread. I've been doing more apples, so I've got this batch of applesauce that was done today, and then I've also got some in the... moving you around a lot, sorry, probably, make people motion sickness, but up here. I've also got some appleberry cordial that has just finished, and the last few apple butters there. So I used the leftover cores and stuff from the apples to make the cordial and added some berries and sugar to it and some citric acid. So they will go on the shelf. And then this is the rest of the apple stuff here that we've done. So I've got about 50 apples left. I don't know how many the kids will eat and how many I'll do with stuff, but I'll get there. This is all that's left of the apple barbecue. So I'm definitely going to have to be making more of that. And then we've got 3 rows of the apple slices. There's a row of apple butter here, the stewed apples, more apple butter. This was the failed apple pie filling that's more like a jam, apple syrup, and that was some more stewed apples there too. So we got a nice collection of apple that needs to be moved onto the shelf. Something else we set up was our wood section. We used to have this around the other side of the house, and it was really inconvenient. We weren't using it. So we've been going out into the bush and cutting down any trees that have fallen over and bringing all the pieces in here to work with. And then we have the smaller stuff in the hardwoods that we use for the wood stoves and stuff, because the pine will make your food taste funny. So we keep some of this smaller hard gums, hard whatever they are, the harder wood aside for cooking with. So out in my sad and lonely looking garden at the moment, we still haven't gotten any further with reorganizing this, so it's very empty, and it's driving me a bit nuts because we haven't had the fresh winter vegetables that we normally would. But we do have, so I planted this whole row of snow peas, and I planted them really thick because we have so many problems with mice and stuff like that. And let's see if we can see the I have to turn this around so that I can see what I'm doing. So they haven't come in anywhere near as thick as we would have as I planted them, which I was aware, because the mice and the grasshoppers just eat them off at ground level as they come through, all the new fresh growth. So we do have a fair few here though. So if they continue to go along, then we will get some snow peas out of that before it gets too hot for them to stop anyway. And the rest of the garden is pretty empty at the moment, as I said, because we haven't got that worked out yet. We got all the mesh put up around the chicken pen, and we got our timber delivery. So I should show you the timber that we got, and then we can have a look at the mesh on the that we finished on the chicken pen, and then we're going to get some stain or some oil or something for this for the wood, so that we can do our gates and have them last as long as we would like them to. So we got cypress delivered by a gentleman for us the other day, which is when I snapped my water hose. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have heard that. So we got this pile of timber here, so that'll be good for everything we need it for when we get around to using it. So we are going to have to sand. It is all very raw, so we are going to sand some of it back and then stain it before we use it for the gates, because we want the gates to last as long term. So, and then if we go back around to the back of the house to where the chook pen is, I'm going to show you that we've got all the mesh finished on that. So all that we need to do is put some we're going to put some bird netting over the top of it, around the trees and stuff, because we want to make sure that the chickens are protected from some of the larger bird predators, and get the gates on, and then we can figure out the nesting boxes and things like that, and then we'll be good to go. So I'll show you that. So here we go, we got all the mesh up everywhere around all the insides. Now we're going to use some timber to get this mesh to be a little more firm against the metal, which is what we've done previously. I'm picking some metal up when I go down to some timber up when I go down to Brisbane, and then we'll secure this a little bit more firmly, but it's going to do what we need it to do. It's going to protect them, which is what we want. So we just have to do all the gates for these gateways, and then as I said, we'll put some bird netting up around. We'll use some of these trees here and we'll sort of wrap it around and create some structure above the pen, and we're going to put the nesting boxes at the front of the pens here, and then we are going to create a little bit of a paved area probably in the middle of each of the 3 pens, where we're going to put the food and water to try and keep it a little bit clean in that space, and then they'll have free range around it. So at the moment it kind of feels like they're a bit small compared to the space they've got, but we're splitting the amount of birds into 3, and when you look up the quantity of birds per square meterage, we've given them well and truly above what's required. So, and we can always extend. So the idea is that we can always extend out that way as well. We can take the backs off and take it out however many meters we want to take it that way if we need to. We've started at this point, and then we'll see how we go from there. But I'm pretty happy with it so far. We bought a Ryobi battery operated stable gun, which made putting that mesh up a whole lot easier than any time we've done it before, because we've always had to use a hammer and staples, and it judders the poles around in the ground. And anyway, the battery operated stapler was a great investment, so that's good. So yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. Once we get this done, we can move the chickens out here, and then we can get working on the garden, which is what I'm really wanting to do. I really want to get the work out there on the garden started, because I want it well and truly established before spring planting and things like that. We're having a lot of cold mornings at the moment, so at the moment we're getting down to -3 overnight easily, so a lot of really chilly mornings, and it's not like I could have much growing anyway, but it would be really nice to get the gardens in, get some mulching on them, and get it sorted. But yeah, anyway, so other than that, what else has been going on? So it's about mid-month at the moment for me for my normal sort of food plan. So the plan is to go to Brisbane in the week of let me find a good spot where I'm not completely in the sun. Here we go. The plan is to go on the week of the 12th. I think it's the 14th or something. I'm going down. It's going to be a fairly big trip, because I'm going to have to take the trailer and the car, because I'm collecting some decking timbers and some pine timber that I'll use for this as well. So I'm doing that as well while I'm down there, and I might try and see if I can pick up some pavers cheap too. So that's going to be a trip there as well. So we've got 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks until I come back with food again. We're mostly through all the stuff that needs to be processed. I've got all those apples done now. I'm going to have to inventory the fridge and freezer, clean them out and get it sorted. So I will make sure to get some footage of that for you as well, so that I know what we've got left for the next 3 weeks and what we've run out of and that sort of thing. I have an honest to goodness order coming in probably sometime this week, and a spice order as well coming in this week, so I'll share those when I do it. And there will be another food hamper on I think it's the 9th, the food hamper comes in, so I will make sure to share that too. What else? What else? I got approached by someone about becoming a Thermomix consultant, and I am considering it. I have to purchase a new Thermomix to become a consultant, and a new Thermomix would be really nice, but I'm still making the decision. And if I became a consultant, then I have the opportunity to help out people who might be looking for one or who want to buy stuff and then make commission off it. So it'd be another income stream for me, but also the opportunity to share the Thermomix on here, and if anyone wants any information, then be able to share it. So I don't know, that's still, we'll see. News.com.au interviewed me the other day too, so there might be an article going up there in regards to that. We'll see when and if it happens, so that'll be interesting. What else has happened this month? Apollo turned 11, so I mentioned that. So he had his birthday. I keep on forgetting I need to pull my film camera out and take some headshots, which I normally do about this time of every year, so I will try and remember to do that, and I'll share those on here when I do it. And that's sort of it. I've been working through that apple so much that I haven't done a whole lot else, because the apple just has been hanging over my head and to get done. So yes, I will. That's definitely been something that's been, yes, hanging over my head to have to be done. So that's done now anyway. There's the last 40 odd apples to go, and that's it. So that's cool. So now comes to the time of the month where I get a bit more creative with my cooking and stuff as well. So that's when I like to share some of the new things that I try. I'm going to try making a brown rice risotto this month, because I haven't been able to get arborio rice anywhere. So I'm going to try making a brown rice risotto, because I really just want risotto. I don't know why, but I do. And that sort of thing. We've got mince in the freezer, and I've still got puff pastry, so I might do sausage rolls again at some point, and the kids will have tuna bake at some point and things like that. So from this point forward, it's weird. For the first half of the month is processing and planning the previous month's buy. So we're in the end of June, so the last 3 weeks have been processing and planning with the food that I bought last month, and then the next 3 weeks will be planning and processing for food that I'm going to buy next month. It's such a weird concept that the whole world my whole life revolves around food and feeding and the planning and that sort of thing, and that I'm sharing with you. And it has been shocking with how many people have really enjoyed watching everything and have enjoyed the learning and been inspired by, and I'm really grateful for everyone who watches the videos. Thank you very much. The channel has been far more successful than I ever expected it to be, and it has given me the drive to keep on going and to keep on sharing, knowing that people are enjoying what I'm doing and are enjoying watching it and are getting something from it, because I'd hate to think that I was doing it for no purpose. It's not something that I ever wanted to do for no purpose. So thank you very much everyone for watching, and hope you enjoyed this just bit of a chat for our mid-month sort of a thing. My arm is killing me, can you tell? Because I'm swapping the camera from hand to hand. I should have brought a tripod out with me. And I will see you again in a couple of days. I'm not sure what the next lot of videos will be. Hopefully we'll get the stain and we'll start working on the gates maybe and get the that sort of thing worked out. Once we get the decking timber this month, we're going to extend the kitchen out so that we can build a better pantry, because at the moment I don't have anywhere near enough shelf space for all my jars, and I'm going to have to get myself some more jars somewhere, because I am running low with all the stuff that I've been canning. So this is the first year that I've really done a whole trying to do a year's worth. So all those apples, there's 180 kilos of apples. We'll be buying apples all year because the kids will eat them fresh, but that's pretty much every cooked apple that I'm going to need for the year. So I'll be able to turn all that apple butter into more apple butter barbecue sauce, and that's all that crisp and crumble and pie fillings. And we had a jar of the stewed apples over pancakes this morning because one jar didn't seal properly, so they're good toppings for granola and for yogurt and for the pancakes, and you can even use them in muffins and things like that. So it's really exciting to have them on the shelf, home canned rather than purchased and things like that. But I am needing more jars and more shelves, so it's going to be a learning curve to be doing this in bulk, because something else is going to come in next, and I'm going to sit there and go, well, I want a year's worth of it, but I'm not going to have the space or the jars. So I'm working on it, and I'll bring you along as I figure it out. So thank you everyone for joining me, and I will see you again next time.